Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Let's get into the individual teams. We're going to start first with the Ravens. So I went from first to worst this year. So we'll start with the Ravens. Last year, the Ravens finished 12-5. They were the number one offensive team, seventh in passing and first in rushing. And then their defense was ninth in scoring defense, which I continue to say is the only defensive metrics, in my opinion, that matters because you stop points from going on the board. So, your favorite move for the Ravens, Ryan?
It's hard to say because they didn't really bring in much free agency wise. Just overall from their draft, I like getting Starks because Washington got hurt in the offseason. And then I like that they re-signed Van Noy because they need some pass rush. Because they do more pass rush by committee, so they need something. But my favorite move, unfortunately, was probably just dumping Tucker and getting that mess of a story off their back. And this rookie kicker, I know it's preseason, but he looks decent, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, those are all good moves. The Tucker one, especially. It's sad how much he has fallen from the top of the mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, we would talk about him every year, like, oh man, he's their best player, and
Y-
then
Yeah,
bad things
correct. Yeah,
just
like
happen.
guaranteed 3 points every time he's kicking. Yeah. Travis, you have a favorite move for the Ravens?
Um, Nothing crazy. I mean, I like them, even though we're gonna say he's old in NFL terms, but Hopkins picking him up, he's just a veteran wide receiver, and I know he didn't do a ton for the Chiefs last year, but Lamar's got another weapon that he could sneakily use. So
Yeah, he's got good hands still, and as long as he got good hands, I'm sure he can be useful. I put down I like the cheap flyer for Alexander. It was like a 1 year, $4 million deal, wasn't it? Something like that. So unfortunately, though, so I made some of these notes when I first thought we were going to do it, and I guess he might be. Is he injured right now or no? I thought, yeah, he's questionable right now, so he's already starting on the injury report. So. That was one flyer I like, but re-signing Hamilton, you mentioned on the top of the podcast, I really like that move, and also re-signing their tackle there, Stanley. So I like those three moves that they made. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those deals by the end of the season we'll be talking about which like how many games the secondary actually played together because Alexander will be hurt a bunch. So at least they
Yes.
got depth there.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Again, it's just a cheap flyer, so you might as well go for it. If he's healthy, he can be good. Okay. Least favorite move, Ryan, that your team made.
I guess I can't really pinpoint or critique it too much. I mean, their offensive line is still like okay to me. I wish they would have maybe bolstered the guards, but that's a lot of teams could say that. So, I mean, they got a pretty solid roster up and down, I guess you could say. So it's hard. You're really nitpicking if you say I wish they had done this. I mean, they only let a few guys really go. The Steelers got Malik Harrison, but he's just kind of a fringe player, so I wasn't too bummed about anything as far as letting guys go that they did. I feel like they upgraded a few spots.
Yeah, I mean, I put down the guards just because they lost two, right? The two guards in free agency. Did I read that right? So, um, again, it's nitpicking, but that's kind of how I felt is like, oh well, it's one thing you can point to. Did they do a good enough job here? That's all.
Yeah, I think initially you might think Mike Green because they took him in the second round and he had domestic abuse stuff in
Oh
his
yeah.
background. And they just had talked about how they weren't gonna get involved in that kind of situations, and then they drafted him. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but that could be a he could get in trouble again. Who knows?
Who knows with that? How about you, Travis? You got one?
no, I don't. This is more Ryan's team. If he couldn't find anything, then I'm not gonna be able to.
Okay. You're supposed to be the rival team. You should be picking them apart. Like, oh, Henry's
No,
older now. He's older, you know. He had
I picked
another.
apart the Bengals.
Okay, okay, fair enough. Okay, let's go. Green flag going into the season, Ryan.
It has to be Lamar in the offense. I mean, they're pretty balanced on both sides, but you know what you can get when you roll out him and Henry and now this group of receivers they have. I mean, that's why you don't stress about likely maybe being out a couple games because they have enough other guys. I mean, he would be more like frosting on the cake when he comes back. Like they got a tough schedule in the beginning of the year, but I just trust the offense to just do what it does now that they've had the same OC 3 years until they get to the playoffs and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like turnover central. But if we're just doing a regular season preview, I trust them.
yeah. I had just to I guess go along just a run game with Lamar, Henry, and that offense. They were number one last year. I think they'll be number one again this year just because of the weapons and the cheat code that never dies, which is Henry. Like I can't believe he's still running as good as he is at his age in the NFL. So yeah. What about you, Travis?
Yeah, Ryan, how did the Ravens lose in the playoffs last year?
How?
Yeah.
The same way they lose every year in the playoffs is like a pinky in the brain skid here.
Well,
Turn the ball over.
didn't they never, or was this 2 years ago where they only ran it like 8 times or
Yeah,
something?
that was 2 seasons ago. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
never
against the
mind. But
Chiefs.
either
They
way,
had like 6 carries by running backs the whole
yeah,
game.
either way, their green flag is to just let Henry run until the alien guy breaks, basically, which is not possible for him.
Yeah, and it wasn't like losing that game to the Bills was like the Bills really forced the issue on some of those turnovers. Once it was just like Lamar dropping the ball and then not picking it up correctly, and then just lofting an interception right to somebody that I could have caught. So just kind of like just really bad turnovers.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't his best performance, which kind of goes, let's go to our red flags. What's your red flag, Ryan?
Yeah, it's just coming through in the clutch. Like we saw Andrews drop a pass too and fumble. He had a fumble and a
Hmm.
drop. Um, so it's other guys too. Lamar, yeah, he definitely had issues in that game. When you turn it over 4 times and you lose by 6 points on the road to the Bills, if you just play somewhat of a clean game, they probably could win the game. But I don't
Yeah.
know how you clean that up other than just tell your guys don't make stupid mistakes. I don't know. You got to practice differently, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a clutch thing or just a mindset, whatever it is that you got to fix. I put go along with that, like everything in the regular season. Everybody, it doesn't matter till the playoffs. That's what you're going to hear all year for the Ravens. No matter how good they are, no matter what they're doing, I feel like that's a red flag because everyone's going to be very dismissive of them. And hopefully the team doesn't develop that type of mindset either. You know, take a week at a time. Don't try to rush to the playoffs. But I
Yeah.
just feel like the regular season is going to be like, oh, it doesn't matter, you know, because
Yeah.
it really doesn't because they're going to be judged in the playoffs. Because, like, let's say if they win a couple close games in the regular season, they'll be like, yeah, but they can't do it in the playoffs. You know, that's what's going to come up. So this team's going to be judged by the playoffs, not the regular season.
Yeah. Or Lamar's already got his MVP, so we can't give him one because he had 40 touchdowns and 4 picks and had his best season, but he doesn't deserve it because he already won one when he shouldn't have, maybe stats wise. So, but it's like you're saying, they got to come through in the playoffs. I mean, they started 0-2 last year and went 12-5. I mean, maybe if you don't lose to the Browns and Jameis Winston, you play that playoff game at home. I mean, so, but it's division games too, so crazy stuff happens sometimes.
Always.
But
Yeah.
you always kick yourself over 1 or 2 losses because the Bills had home field and that could have made the difference of why they won.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. And the Bills' home field advantage is really good. So, Ryan, Travis, you want to give us your red flag?
You guys kind of touched on all of them. So
Okay. Okay. Fantasy football go-to, Ryan?
I've been taking Derrick Henry in different leagues if I can get him. Um, I think some people like say Keaton Mitchell's like a sneaky like later pick because he averaged like 8 yards a carry a few years ago and now he's back to full strength, but I don't think he'll get a ton of work. I think it'll be Henry and then Hill on third down, so I don't know how much Mitchell will actually play.
Okay. Okay. How about you, Travis? You got a fantasy go-to for the Ravens?
R is the obvious one, but Ryan, I have a question for you. Who should you draft for tight end? Who do you think is going to get more utilized this year? Andrews or Likely?
I think just because likely starting the year, he might play the first game. They didn't put him on IR or PUP. They thought he'd be out maybe the first 4 games because of his foot. So I'd have to wait and see if he's not available the first couple games, then I'd say Andrews.
Okay. So what you should have asked Travis is what's more likely? Okay, anyway, come
I
on.
think it's hard projecting like stats for Ravens receivers because 1 week Flowers could have 9 catches and then the next week he has one. Like they kind of alternate between guys, and then Bateman can have couple long touchdowns, and it's just
Well,
kind of hard for the receivers to really project fantasy well.
yeah, that's the question I was gonna ask you, like if you had to pick a pass catcher for the Ravens, which one would you pick? But I kind of in the same boat as you, is like I don't know which one to go after. Um, so but I think it's worth mentioning that Lamar, if you're going to take a quarterback early, he's the best one to take, just because of his running ability and his passing ability. So what? What?
Burrow's not a great option.
Well, Burrow doesn't run as much as Lamar does. Okay, let's just go ahead and predict that for the Ravens. So the Ravens over under is at 11 and a half. What do you have, Matt Ryan?
I like the over on that. I like 12, same as last year. I mean, they do have a very difficult schedule when you start off at Buffalo and you're at Kansas City and you're against Detroit. But I mean, if you're winning the division like they have the last couple years, you just got to accept it's going to be a tough schedule, and they got a good enough team where they should win a minimum of 12 games. I would think 12 or 13.
Yeah, I have them 12 and 5 as well. What about you, Travis?
Same, 12 and 5.
Beautiful. Okay, you guys ready to move on to the Steelers? Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.